what's up, kiddos? Ella here.
Hey kids, it's Reese.
Did you see the snow last night?
I did, and it's really starting to feel like winter at the end of January.
It sure is. I have a pretty big snow globe collection.
You do?
Yeah. I'm looking for more to add to it.
Well, maybe you could ask one of the 5th graders.
What do you mean?
Well, I heard that the 5th graders are making snow globes in art.
Those might work, but I'll have to see the quality.
Let's see the quality of those snow globes with Lily. Hi, I'm Lily. Recently, we've gotten a lot of snow, and in art, we are working on snow globes. First, we used a Sharpie to draw a horizon line, and on the background, we put either mountains or buildings. On the foreground, you could pick whatever you wanted to put there. Then, we painted the sky. We could use either warm or cool colors. We used watered-down white paint to make it look like it was snowing. We also had the choice if we wanted to add stars. Then we drew on a black piece of paper, and that was the bottom of our snow globes. As a finishing touch, we added Mod Podge and glitter to make it look like it was snowing. This was very fun, and it turned out great. Let's slide on over to Renoa.
Thanks, Lily. Hi. I'm Renoa, and today we are going to be talking about science. Here's a question. What in our world is made of matter? Everything is made of matter. In science, we played a game of 21 questions, Matter Edition. In the game, we had to ask 21 questions or less to figure out the picture on the card. I really enjoyed the day we got to go to the science lab to see what dissolves in water. That's all I have to say today, so let's dissolve on over to the anchors.
Wow, sounds like learning about properties rocks.
You know what else rocks?
What, Reese?
6th grade science.
How does 6th grade science rock?
Well, I heard that the 6th graders are learning about rocks.
Let's hear about those cool and snazzy rocks with Karina.
Hey WCMS, it's Karina, and the 6th graders learned about the rock cycle. And I'm not sure about you, but Mr. Lyons really rocked to this subject.
Rock cycle never stops. Rock cycle's got 3 kinds: metamorphic, heat and pressure, sedimentary, erosion and weather, igneous, red hot magma. Rock cycle lasts forever.
The rock cycle is a process which takes 5 million years. It originates here. So when magma cools, it turns into igneous rock. When igneous rock weathers, it turns into sediment. From there, the sediment compacts together and becomes sedimentary rock. Sedimentary rock eventually undergoes heat and pressure and becomes metamorphic rock. Metamorphic rock melts in the magma and the cycle repeats. The cycle could go many different ways, but that order is most common. Well, I certainly enjoyed that, so don't be salty because we're sending it off to Sebastian.
Hey WCMS, it's Sebastian, and in January lots of people make New Year's resolutions. And if your resolution was to be a better student, then the students in Miss Peters' class have something for you.
Hi, we're from Miss Peters' class, and we know there's a problem with kids not getting their homework done. So our teacher asked us to make some tips for other kids on ways to get their homework done. One way is to do your homework right after you get home before playing anything or doing anything.
Use your study hall time wisely. Write it in your agenda. Get help if you need it.
Finish your homework before you hang out with friends.
These tips work for us. Maybe they can work for you.
Wow, those are some really great ways to be a great student. But I think having a organized locker is another good tip. Now let's send it over to the anchors while I organize my locker.
Those kids have got it right with those good learning habits.
Yep, make sure to always do your homework and study very hard.
Would doing your homework include book reports?
Why would you ask that?
For a friend?
Well, yes, and as I recall, Julia is talking about that now.
Hey WCMS, it's Julia. In 7th grade reading class, we are doing a January book report. First, you pick a book to read. While you read your book, you have to write summaries about different chapters in your book. The packet we have to fill out includes information about the characters, words you learned, and notes about the whole book. When the whole packet is completed, turn it in. Throughout this report, I feel like it's a great way for people to start reading in 2019. Now here's Jacob talking about the current art project.
What's up, Webster City Middle School? I'm Jacob, and in art we are creating clay mugs. We started out by flattening the clay, and then using a template we cut out a circle about 2 inches in diameter. Then we got a little more clay and flattened it out again into a rectangular shape. Then we used another template to create a perfect rectangle. Then we made the places where the 2 pieces would meet rough so they would stick better. Then we created a handle with the leftover clay. We smoothed out the rough parts and then added our details. We could either add clay or carve out clay. After the clay mugs are fired in the kiln, we are going to have a hot cocoa party. This has been my favorite project we have done so far. That's all from me, so let's send it back to the anchors.
Those clay pots sure do look fired up.
I'm fired up for our basketball game Tuesday.
Speaking about basketball, I heard that we have some reporters gossiping about WCMS sports.
Really? Well, I would really like to hear from them.
Same here, Ella. Let's go get the inside scoop about WCMS sports.
Hey Webster City Middle School, it's Allie.
And Aiden, here with a special sports report.
Winter sports are reaching the final buzzer.
How do you think this season went?
This season was a real slam dunk.
I think so too. So now we're going to recap some of the season's highlights.
8th grade girls basketball have a record of 7-2 with a huge win against Clear Lake. 8th grade boys are now 6-1 with even more wins ahead. Now let's pass it to Ava and Addie with the 7th grade basketball highlights.
So since the basketball season is winding down, we're here to tell you how the 7th grade team's seasons went.
The boys team is undefeated, and they're being coached by Mr. Lyons.
The girls team has also done very well with only 2 losses. And we're being coached by Mr. Fisher. Now let's pass it back to Aiden and Allie.
Wow, sounds like all the basketball teams have had an exciting season.
You bet they have. You know what they say. Teamwork makes the dream work.
That's true, but do you know what's better than watching a basketball game?
What?
Seeing the wrestling mats out in Jeff Gym.
Speaking of wrestling, how has their season gone this year?
This season has been full of pins and wins. Here's some footage from one of the home meets.
This really has been a great sports season.
For both basketball and wrestling.
Well, that's it for this sports update, so let's send it back on to the anchors.
For upcoming events, check the school calendars.
Well, Webster City Middle School, we'll see you next time on
From the Middle. Remember to stay warm, kiddos.